It's another edition of Time About the Movies. We're looking at the weekend of April 19th, 1991. We only got one movie to look at today, but unlike the weekend we had The Merry Man, we have a movie here that I actually do really enjoy, and I'm going to delve into more of that. I won't do like a full review, but this is a really good movie. It's a very underrated film. It's Demi Moore, Glenne Headly, and Bruce Willis starring in the thriller Mortal Thoughts.
Did you think you would get away with this?
I didn't think that she would go through with it. It was a sick game.
Listen to me. We are friends, and we are going to watch out for each other forever.
Something terrible happened that night.
I mean, you have a friend, two friends, married. We're at each other's throats.
When are you going to start listening to me, huh?
So what if I want to have another baby?
No, because we already talked about this, and you know that. You get this taken care of.
Something no one wanted to talk about.
You used to be such a happy-go-lucky guy.
Well, I'm very happy-go-lucky. Guess who? We're partying, baby.
I'm going to kill him one of these days, so help me God.
Something no one could put their finger on.
I'm really afraid, Joyce. I mean, I don't think that we're doing the right thing.
Look, I warned you about those two. They're crazy. They're animals. Anything can happen with them.
Something no one.
Somebody's talking. They ask questions like somebody knows something, like somebody said something.
Something just doesn't sit right here. The night James was murdered, you said you told your husband everything.
I didn't do anything.
I mean, you're really caught in the middle now. You're going to have to make a choice here.
I made my choice. It's over. You think it's over?
You knew what was happening. You let it happen.
Some secrets you keep,
What you want is a lie.
others you kill for.
I mean, the woman's a murderer.
Somebody help me!
Unless, of course, she isn't a murderer.
Demi Moore, Glenne Headly, Bruce Willis, John Pankow, and Harvey Keitel. Mortal Thoughts.
So the premise of Mortal Thoughts is that Demi Moore plays a woman who's involved in the violent murder of her friend's abusive, drug-addicted husband, played by Bruce Willis. The friend is played by Glenne Headly. The title for the film comes from a quote from William Shakespeare's The Tragedy of Macbeth, which, as many of you know, if you've been recently, they had The Tragedy of Macbeth with the Coen brothers, with Denzel Washington, which was actually a pretty good movie. But, yeah, the story really doesn't have too much to do with the film here, but I just found that was interesting on Wikipedia to look that up. But, yeah, like I said before, this is actually a pretty damn good movie. It's a very good mystery thriller film, and it's one of those rare occasions where you have a couple who are both off-screen and on-screen together, and the movie doesn't end up being completely terrible, because that easily could have been the case with Demi Moore and Bruce Willis, who were about 4 years married when this movie came out. But, yeah, the movie's pretty good. It's a really good movie. There are a lot of great performances in this movie. Demi Moore, I think, gives one of her best performances as a leading actress. Glenne Headly, who has been a great character actress over the years when she was working, and she gets a chance to shine in this movie. And every time she's on screen in here, she gives a really good performance. I thought Bruce Willis gave one of the best performances of the movie, besides Moore, because he plays a character that's kind of outside of his normal shtick, and it's very good. It's a really good performance. A performance that's very comical, but at the same time very terrifying at times. Like, you know that this guy's going to be involved in something very serious, and he's not the best person to be around, but you still are kind of invested in what he's going to do. You also have John Pankow in this, and Harvey Keitel playing the police officer. It's a very good movie. It's a very good mystery, too, because you really don't know, because the mystery is what makes this stand out the best, because you never really can tell what direction it's going to go into. You think you might know. You think maybe Demi Moore is going to be the centerpiece of it, and she kind of is, but at the same time, there really isn't. And it does keep you on the edge of your seat to figure out what this is going to transpire when we get to the very end. Like, who's going to be the killer? Who's going to be the reasoning behind everything? And like I said, it's a very good movie. It's not only a thrilling movie, a great mystery, some great dramatic elements all around. There's even some good bits of black comedy in there, too, which is actually kind of interesting. But, yeah, there's not really much more I can add to this movie, but I think it's one of Alan Rudolph's best films. It's a movie that did not get a whole lot of attention back then. It did make money at the box office. It actually, if I remember correctly, looking up the research for this, I think it only opened in 1,000 theaters on this weekend before expanding into wider release. And even when it did open, it actually was in the top 3 of the top grossing films of the weekend. So for something that under 1,000 theaters, that was actually pretty impressive still for the time. And yeah, like I said, it's a very good movie. It's a really good underrated film. It's probably my favorite movie from Alan Rudolph as a director. I haven't been the biggest fan of his works. I know the last movie that I talked about on here, Love at Large, was not very good, at least in my opinion, but yeah, like I said, Mortal Thoughts is a very good movie. It's a very underrated film, a very underrated thriller, especially for Willis and probably the best movie to come out for both Willis and Moore in '91, because they both had major bombs in this year. Demi Moore had Nothing But Trouble, which we already looked at, and Bruce Willis will have Hudson Hawk coming up in the next month that we'll get into when we get to that movie. But this was the best movie that came out for both of them in '91, in my opinion. Unless I'm completely forgetting one, but I don't think I am. If I am, I'll just say that when we get to that. But I don't think I am. But yeah, the point of the matter is, Mortal Thoughts is actually a really good thriller. You can definitely find it somewhere on DVD, Blu-ray, streaming, wherever. If you can, I'd say definitely check it out. I mean, I say if I can, you can probably find it there pretty easily. But yeah, I highly recommend Mortal Thoughts. If you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. Especially if you're looking for a good, underrated mystery thriller, this is definitely going to fit right up your alley. And that's pretty much it. We only had that one movie to look at today here on Time About the Movies. Next time around, we'll multiply that by 7. We've got 7 movies to look at, including a couple of very good ones, honestly. We have Sylvester Stallone and John Landis' comedy Oscar, which is a very underrated comedy. We'll definitely delve into that one. We also have A Kiss Before Dying. We have Toy Soldiers. We have the re-release of Spartacus. We have Talent for the Game. We have 1,000 Pieces of Gold. And we have Journey of Hope. So hopefully we'll look at all 7 movies if I can find the material to use it to talk about. But we're definitely going to have some movies to talk about next time around. That's a guarantee. So with that said, thank you guys for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, check out the playlist on the next page. Check out the previous episode. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for another episode. So thank you for watching. I'll see you guys tomorrow. And until then, take care.